Holy shitsies, it is day 14. So it's day 14 of 15 days of foundation. This is where I've been trying out a new foundation every single day for 15 days. I have 4 other seasons of this series, so I'm going to link those down below. But today we're trying out a throwback drugstore foundation. This is the L'Oreal True Match LUMI Healthy Luminous Makeup. So this is one of those products, sometimes I'll do these in Foundation Fridays and stuff, where it's a foundation that I've tried years and years and years ago. I don't really remember what I think of it, and also my skin has changed a lot in the last 6 months. I'm now dry. Before Accutane, I was very oily and had acne, so it's been fun to kind of try products I've used in the past and see how they are on my skin now. I haven't used this foundation, I don't even remember. It's been at least, I want to say 4 years, probably closer to like 5 or 6 years since I last used this. I love trying out products like this that just remind me of like old school YouTube back in the day. I remember when this product launched, so I'm curious to see how it works out for me now. Comment down below if you still use this foundation or your thoughts on it. Let me know down below. So this foundation retails for about $11.99 depending on where you get it, and it has 1 fluid ounce of product. It says it has a medium coverage and a luminous finish. It actually has 40% water for all day hydration. Okay, let's do this. It has antioxidants, vitamin C and E. Vitamin C is good for helping with like scarring and pigmentation stuff, and E is good for moisture. So I'm into both of those. It says an instant luminous glow. Lightweight buildable coverage that lasts up to 8 hours. So that's not very long lasting power right there. 8 hours, I would say, would not last the average person. I do 10-hour wear test because I feel like that's a decent amount of time by the time you wake up, go to work, come home, take off your makeup. But we'll see how it holds up. It comes in 15 shades, warm, neutral, and cool undertones. I have the shade N12 Soft Ivory, which is the lightest of the neutral undertone. So I'm going to insert swatches here so you can see how this shade compares to True Match, the regular one, which I also have a video on, just the regular True Match, and also some of my other foundations so you can see how all of them compare. I feel like I almost just swung that into my head. Okay, swatch time. Right here is the L'Oreal True Match LUMI foundation in the shade Neutral N12, the lightest neutral shade. Next over is the L'Oreal True Match foundation, not LUMI, just the regular one, in N1, W1, and C1. Here's Dermacol 208, L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in 201, and CYO Life Proof in 101. So there's only 1 day left. We are trying to raise $20,000 for Project Beauty Share in this series. If you're new here, make sure you watch the announcement video. It talks all about what we're doing. Right now when I'm filming this, it's day 6 and we're almost to $9,000. So we still have a ways to go, but it's only day 6. So I'm excited to see where we're at when this video goes up. But I'm going to pin a comment so you can see what the current running total is. And also I've been posting on all my social medias, updating you guys almost every day with where we're at. Let's get to 20,000. I think we can do it. Last day, here we go. The link is down below if you want to check out the shop. It's right at the top of the description box. You can also vote 1 time a day for the shelter that you want to win $5,000, and I'm also going to be doing a meetup in that city. If you're excited for day 14, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you're new here, you can join the Bayrito family and subscribe. L'Oreal True Match LUMI Foundation, here we go. Day 14, folks. It is 8:46 in the morning. You know the drill at this point. I've already washed, moisturized, and prepped my skin. We're going to do half with the brush, half with the Real Technique sponge. And a bunch of you guys, I can't remember which day it was in, said that you also felt like the Real Technique sponge has changed. They tweeted back saying it hasn't, but I don't know, man. Let's shake this up. So I have the shade N1. It looks like it might be a bit dark, but we'll see. So it says lightweight buildable coverage. I'm gonna start with a brush on this side of my face. Oh, it smells like baby wipes. Ooh, looking nice. This is one that as you're blending it, you can kind of feel it starting to set, which I like. It doesn't feel as slippery as when I first put it on. This has an interesting scent though. It's reminded me of something. That looks really pretty. I actually got a little bit better coverage than I was picturing off of that first layer with the brush. I would say I'm at low medium coverage right now. It doesn't look the best on my forehead, but it also doesn't look bad. But I'm gonna go ahead and smooth it out with a sponge afterwards. With that same amount of product, the sponge went way less far with it. What? I put the same amount of product out both times, 1 pump, and I'm already through that pump with the sponge just on this part of my face, so it does go farther with the brush. Looks really pretty though, the finish of it. So I'm gonna bring the sponge over. Ooh, yeah. Finish with a sponge looks beautiful with this one. Very hard for you guys to tell on camera, but the shade is about a shade too dark. Because the undertone is neutral though, it doesn't look too dark. I think once I have my concealer and stuff on, this would be, I mean, it's still going to look dark, but it's not to the point where it's not wearable like this. I think the coverage actually looks pretty similar, brush and sponge side with this one. I like the finish better on the sponge side, so I am going to try and build this up since it's supposed to be buildable just on the areas where I need it right here. This is where I have scarring, freckles, and stuff. It's not clinging anywhere so far, and it looks really nice and smooth. Looks like a dewy finish for sure. That looks nice. This is a skill avoiding these earrings right now. That just built really well. I would say high medium coverage right now. This side actually looks like full coverage. This side I can still see some stuff coming through, so maybe if you want the most coverage, brush first layer, sponge thin second layer. My forehead looks great. It looks a little bit makeup-y on my upper lip, and I didn't put 2 layers here or anything or around my nose because that's usually where I get some cakiness, but it doesn't look bad. It just looks a little bit makeup-y, but it's looking really pretty overall. I love the finish of it. It does still feel a little bit tacky right now. So as of right now, I think I'm gonna lightly powder this part of my face. So right now it's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna do my makeup. I think I wanna do like an intense smoky eye, so I'll be right back. It is almost 10 o'clock, but the check-in time is 9:10. So as I was doing the rest of my makeup, I did powder this part of my face using the Sephora Micro Smooth powder. Love this powder. I just did a whole video on my favorite powders to set foundation. So if you're wondering why I don't use a translucent powder or loose powder, just watch that video. It explains all about it. That's what I used to set this part of my face. And then as I was doing the rest of my makeup, I noticed it kind of starting to look heavy and definitely creasing already on my forehead. So I kind of smoothed it out with a sponge a couple times. But this part where my hair has been touching my face is like completely rubbing off. So I am going to set just this part of my forehead. I don't like setting the center. So I'm going to take the same Micro Smooth powder and just set my hairline area so that when it touches against it, it's not going to hopefully totally rub off. And do this side too. From what I can see on camera, the shade and how it's sitting on my skin actually looks really pretty. So I feel like this is one I would wear probably on camera. So if you're looking for one that looks good, I don't know if you're into video or whatever, maybe you're a news anchor or something, who knows? Actually comment down below, is anyone a news anchor? That'd be really interesting. Or like on TV or in the news. So here's what the foundation looks like in natural lighting. When I look up close, it looks really good on this half of my face. It's just my forehead where it looks like a little much, but it still looks nice. Here's the flash test. Looks pretty good in flash. I would definitely wear this one. But on the rest of my face, for bronzer, I use the same one I've been using, the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Foundation Powder, but in 05. I'm just loving this shade for like a natural bronzer. I use the Maybelline Fit Me blush. This is actually the first time I think I've used these blushes. I'm pretty sure, but this is in the shade Coral, and this is really pretty. Blended out easily. I like the shade of it. It's not too coral, actually. It almost looks a little bit more pink. For highlight, I actually took the NARS Free Soul blush. I mentioned this in my last Raise and Rejects video. I love this as a blush. If I use it with just a blush brush, I love it as a glowy blush, or I'll use the Sigma F15, this Duo Fiber one, if I want it as like a blush topper. And then if I want it as a highlighter, I'll go in with the Sigma F03, and this just kind of transforms it into a super pretty light pink highlight that still looks really natural and pretty and doesn't emphasize my texture. So I just love this product if you like a pink glowy blush or a pink highlight. For eyeshadows, I tried out the Lorac Pro 3 palette again. Is this number 3? 2. I used this for the dark blue kind of look the other day, and I wanted to see if this was what was irritating my eyes and if I was still getting a lot of fallout with it. So I just went in with a lot of the grays and blacks in here, and then I put the silver shade all over my lids, but then the glitter that you guys are seeing in this like light kind of mint green. This new BH Cosmetics Diamond Dazzlers. These are like loose foiled pigments. They're more like glitter. They're called foiled pigments, but I mean, they're glitter. And this is in the shade Precious. I thought this was gonna be like a gray kind of gunmetal color, but it's actually more light green. To apply it, I just sprayed my brush with MAC Fix Plus and then went in with this and just kind of packed it on. Lashes are my current favorites, the Eyelure Accents in 005. For lips, I put this Maybelline liner in 110 Purely Nude. I put this liner all over my lips, and then I just went right over it with the Sephora 32 liquid lipstick, and I really like the shade for like a pinky nude, light pink nude. Oh, and then I tried out new brow things. I tried out this Brow Stylist Boost and Set by L'Oreal, and this has such a cool wand. I love this applicator, for brows because look how tiny it is. You can get right where you want it, and it really does set those hairs. This isn't one that you can't feel. Like, I can feel the kind of the crunchiness on this one. And then I went over it with the clear one just on the front to like brush up some of those hairs. And that is everything. Everything I use on my face is always listed down below, along with earrings, shirt, any kind of jewelry. Everything's down below in the description box. I'll see you guys in a few hours in natural lighting for the next check-in. It is about 3 o'clock, so it's been on for almost 6 hours. I don't know what's with this Lorac palette. I love the eyeshadows when I put them on. This happened last time too, but I'm getting fallout on the lower lash line again. Both times I've worn this now, I've gotten fallout on the lower lash line. So it's almost turned into like a satin matte finish, I would say. My forehead still has a little bit of glow to it, but when you really look at it, it definitely looks more like satin matte right now. I'm getting a lot of creasing right on the center, and it's definitely making my skin look pretty textured up here. Creasing on this side a little bit too. Here's my chest color. You can see like the orange line right here. I do think it's oxidized about half a shade, but here's what it's looking like right now. We'll see how it holds up in the next few hours. I'll see you guys at the end of the night. Okay, we've still got some light out. It's now 7:07, so it's been on for 10 hours. It's crazy how much better the shade looks out here than I was just in my bathroom and I look straight up orange. Actually, I'll go show you guys a clip in a sec. Oh, let's just go in there. In here is actually a lot closer to what the shade actually looks like. So as you can see, I'm looking pretty orange. It has oxidized more throughout the day, so that's a downfall. It just looks a little bit too makeup-y. I have foundations that sit a lot better on my skin. It seems to have rubbed off a little bit right here. This is usually where I kind of like rest my hand right there, and it does look like it's rubbed off a bit. Ooh, dry lips. This side a little bit right there too, which I don't think I even was resting my hand there. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, you can definitely just kind of like see this one, but it doesn't look horrible. This might be one that I can mix with something to make it look good, or just try a different powder with or something, because I don't not like the actual product. I just think it's too dark, and with this powder or this combo of stuff, it doesn't look as flawless as it could look probably. So I am gonna mix this next time. I'll probably use some kind of primer or something right there so it doesn't separate, hopefully, and see if I can make this one work. But don't love it, don't hate it. I hope tomorrow, day 15, we can end on a high note. But if you've enjoyed 15 days of foundation and are excited for the last day, day 15 tomorrow, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.